Some of you are walking through a fog right now. You're asking God why your clarity is gone, why the fire that used to burn in your spirit has turned into a flicker, barely hanging on. You wonder why your focus is off, your joy feels unstable, and your vision seems blurred. You've been crying out, praying, fasting, asking God to speak. But here's the truth you've been avoiding. It's her, the woman you've attached your soul to, the one you claim was an answer to prayer. He won you fight for in your secret place, trying to convince God to bless what he never gave. You're begging for confirmation, but you already got the answer. It just wasn't the one you wanted. You wanted a yes. God gave you a red flag. You wanted her to be the one. God said, let her go. And now you're stuck, not because God isn't speaking, but because you've already decided you're not willing to obey. You say you want his will, but your actions betray you. Because you've made a decision, now you just want him to endorse it. But God doesn't endorse rebellion. He doesn't co-sign confusion. He doesn't anoint what competes with him for your attention, and you know it. That's why you can't sleep. That's why your peace is gone. That's why worship feels empty. That's why your anointing has gone quiet. You think it's spiritual warfare, but it's not. It's spiritual rebellion. You're wrestling with God, trying to hold on to what he's been trying to remove. And every time he tries to tear it away, you cling harder. You don't want to start over. You don't want to feel the sting of loss. You don't want to explain it to your friends, your family, your pastor. So instead, you stay. You compromise. You shrink. But let me tell you something plainly. She is not from God. God doesn't send a woman who confuses your calling. He doesn't send a woman who tempts your flesh and silences your spirit. He doesn't send a woman who becomes an idol, who steals the throne that only he is worthy to sit on. And if she does any of those things, you don't need a prophetic word, you need obedience. You say she's beautiful. So what? You say you feel a connection. Souls connect in sin too. You say she understands you. The enemy understands you too. That doesn't make him sent from God. Stop justifying disobedience with emotion. Stop baptizing your desires in spiritual language. Stop calling something a blessing when it's slowly destroying your soul. You want confirmation, but what you need is courage. The courage to walk away. Hear this. God will not bless what competes with his glory. He will not protect what he sent the storm to destroy. He will not anoint what poisons your spirit. You're asking him to keep what he's been trying to take. That's why there's tension. That's why your soul feels divided. Because you're torn between who you love and who you serve. So here's the real prayer. Lord, if she's not from you, take her. That's the prayer hell fears. That's the prayer your flesh fights. That's the prayer that parts the Red Sea. Because when you say it, heaven moves. Swift, final, unapologetic. And when he takes her, don't go chasing. Don't go mourning what was never yours. Don't try to fix what he came to break. Stop asking God to resurrect what he crucified. Stop kneeling at a door he shut. Stop dressing up your disobedience and calling it faith. You say you trust God. Good. Now prove it. Prove it by letting go. Prove it by choosing obedience over emotion. Prove it by walking away even when your heart screams to stay. Because obedience will cost you something. But disobedience, it'll cost you everything. Would you want to sacrifice your everything on the altar of a relationship God never authored? And what's worse, you'll miss what God had planned. There's a woman whose prayers could cover you. There's a woman whose spirit could sharpen yours. There's a woman whose walk would not pull you back. but push you forward. But you'll never meet her if you're still tangled with the counterfeit. He already gave you the answer. You're just ignoring it. So let me say this for the last time. She's not from God. Stop holding on. Stop praying for rescue while building your own prison. Stop asking for light while hiding in the shadows. Let her go. Let her go before it costs you more than you can afford. And when you do, don't ever look back.